Hello and happy magical Monday. It is Michelle and this is the Living Magically podcast, and I wanted to just wish you a happy new moon. This is definitely going to be one of the biggest energy weeks of the year, and there's a lot going on. There's the new moon that just happened in Leo, so that opens, if it wasn't already open, it definitely opens the Lionsgate portal. And so that happened on the 4th. And what we're seeing is this week of the new moon, there's also a lot of other things. So we have Mercury going retrograde in Virgo here at the same time, just a few hours later, and certainly by now you're starting to feel it. And with that, you have 4 other planets or asteroids in retrograde. So you have Chiron, the wounded healer, and all of this stuff happening at the same time. So you have this new moon, and normally with new moons, I'd say start a big project. And actually, because of this retrograde in Mercury, I would say start completing an old project, which means what is it you're trying to get off your plate so that you can get to your big picture items? And what is it you need to do so you can heal your wounded healer and get things done? And because we've got Virgo in, and we're going to have a huge Virgo season next month, everybody's trying to get their health in order, their house in order, their mental health in order. And that is really the theme: getting your house, your body, your life in order. And you're going to see that actually get really, really intense at the end of August and into September. And it's going to be a theme all the way to the end of the year. And this sets us up, and you're going to see this in politics, right? Where everything is setting up for the future. What are you creating for your future? And what has to be done to do that? So it's not necessarily a time for new ideas. It's time for implementation of what it is you're becoming and what it is you're doing. And then, of course, a lot of us feel the electromagnetic stress, and we're having some of the most powerful solar storms and X-class solar flares than we've ever seen in our lifetime. And sometimes some of these flares aren't as high as others. It's just that we've never seen this many ever in our lifetime. Repeated. It's kind of like a bombardment. You're actually seeing that we have changed our Earth's atmosphere. There's been so much solar cosmic dust that's created a different atmosphere at the edge of our gravitational pull. So if you're feeling lethargic, if you're getting sick, if you're feeling like you need a detox, this is because, if you're having headaches and things, this is because we're looking to get better habits. So you're going to see a lot of people detoxing their body, needing to detox their body. A lot of people might decide that they want to eat better, drink less things, and that would be sugar and alcohol and even drugs, and that can be even prescription drugs, but things that maybe you need to come off of or be less dependent on. We're seeing addictions coming to the surface. This can be addictions of toxic people, toxic behavior, toxic chemicals, anything that is needing to be removed. And that can also be toxic clutter, and even down to your inbox and what you're responding to. So whatever it is you're doing right now, it is about getting really mindful and getting really intentional and making this choice for for the sake of, sometimes we just need to do it even if we don't want to. And this definitely brings us forward to checking into our values, checking into and putting ourselves in a position of what is it that's super important to me, and what am I going to show the world is important to me? Because we have Leo, and Leo is very gregarious. It is the face of the world. And I just taught a really interesting class on. Okay, so I don't know what that just happened, and I don't know what you all just saw, but my phone did something weird because it's Mercury retrograde, and I don't like blaming anything, but I'm just checking to see if I'm still recording. There definitely was a blip there where my phone did something really weird. So I apologize for anybody.
Yeah, recording still.
And so where was I? Okay, so as I said, you're just gonna have to roll with it. There's gonna be some, don't take things that happen with your phone, your computer, or your or for your car or your life super personally. If something isn't moving smoothly, really, the best thing to do is just laugh it off, go forward, move on. The other thing to do when Mercury retrograde is always, when we have this, especially this many things in retrograde, it's a good time to like review and realign and plan ahead and make sure you dot your I's before you travel or go forward, sort of fearlessly. And as I was saying, I taught a class this weekend, and one of the themes that came up for everyone is that we're working towards self-actualization. Really, really stop abandoning yourself with this Leo energy and really commit to yourself. And one of the ways you can do that is by connecting into this Lionsgate. This Lionsgate is extra potent because it's at the new moon. It's just a few days after this new moon. It's extra potent because it is an 888 Lionsgate. So whatever you're doing on Thursday, this is an intention day, even more so than the new moon. What are you looking at for the big picture? We're actually starting to come into the abundance portal. On the 6th, we have the 15 degrees of Leo, which is starting that prosperity energy. And so if you're working with the Lionsgate in your intentions and magic, this is abundance. This is about being able to open up your self to receiving. This is about opening up your methods of maybe multiple sources of income. Maybe this is allowing more love into your life. But whatever it is definitely about being open to the bounty and the abundance that the universe has. I see it as two lions when we talk about the Lionsgate. Two lions, one on either side, and you're walking into this portal. And through this portal on the other side, there's a version of you that you leave behind and a version of you that is coming forward. And if you want to join us, we have a beautiful ceremony. The Bloom Temple Egyptian Oils is doing a beautiful ceremony. We still have spaces left online on the morning of 8/8. We'd love to invite you to come and be part of that with us. It is going to be Rima and Star and I, and it's going to be a very powerful activation. It's a day filled with mystics and magic and activation. So if you want to be in community, you want to be with us, what's wonderful is if you can be there live, great. And if not, we'll send you the recording, and the activations will all be available for you at any time that day and in the following days, because we really do have this whole weekend being part of the Lionsgate, still bringing in that energy of activation for the whole week. Really starting now, potent the highest on Thursday and going through the weekend. So these are acts of celebration, acts of magic, acts of thanksgiving, acts of gratitude. And that's what I would definitely be focusing on here, is how potent you can see yourself in the future, really seeing yourself in that version of you that already is, and then accepting what might need to change, like actually seeing the obstacles and the mindset that needs to go to be the version of you that is in the becoming, and then activating that energy on the 888 of the frequency and vibration of this is already who I am. This is my frequency. This is how I'm going to radiate into the world as the light of the world. And therefore, I'm going to change the world by being this person, by acting as this person, by taking actions in the energy of as is. So we're activating our own lion roar, and we're activating our own beautiful portal of becoming, and we're opening our doors. Like the Lionsgate to me is a flood opening of the doors to receiving. So bringing yourself into the receiving, bringing yourself into the activation, bringing yourself into the allowing, and removing any last obstacles, path clear, obstacles removed, and everything is going your way. So that's what I see this week. And so if you have any questions, please send me a message. Feel free to join us. I'd love to see every single one of you at the Bloom Temple, online temple, because the other thing that's important is that we're all putting the energy of the world we're creating into the grid lines that day. We want every single person connecting that day to New Earth and to the next up level of the planet. So if you want to be very intentional in a group, please join us with the Bloom Temple online. And it doesn't matter where you are on the planet. We will be, we made it early enough in the day that those of you in Egypt and Europe can join us. It should hit the ability for most of the time zones that we work with to be available. But even if you're alone, definitely spend some time at your 8 a.m. and your 8 p.m. sending a wave of intention for the world as we are creating it, the world as we're desiring it, the world as we're connecting to it. Peace on earth, up level for earth, up level for our soul and our soul's evolution, and really creating new earth collectively and consciously and together. So I send that as a love note to you and an activation to all of you. So just a quick sum up. New moon has already come in, new moon in Leo. So we're in that intention making window. The Lionsgate doors are open with the peak being Thursday, and really through this entire weekend of celebrating and active mental capacity. Mercury is in retrograde, so we're reviewing, renewing, and realigning. And because of it being in Virgo, we're looking at our health, our wellness, our systems, and that is personal, taking care of our own body, our house, our transportation, and the worldview, taking care of the world as our home. So let me know how this landed. Send me a comment. Really helps to put a comment. Send this to a friend. Please subscribe and like, and all of those things will help us get this podcast, or whether you're watching it as Facebook Live or listening to it as a podcast or listening to it on YouTube. Please, please, please share it, like it, and subscribe, because that will help us get it to everybody in a way that makes the algorithm happy. And in the meantime, I'm sending you healing light and love and activation energy from my heart to yours, and live magically.